Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Finally, we are finally here checking out the very first episode of the Avatar The Last Airbender live action adaptation for Netflix. I remember when they announced this years ago, and we've had to wait a long time. And at first, we saw footage, the trailers, oh my god, people were freaking out, and then more information was coming out and clips, and it seems the tides have turned on this show. I'm going to go into this first episode here, with a completely open mind and not, really pay attention to all the stuff being said, because I've been optimistic, but also kind of cautious because the original creators of Avatar that was on this project left years ago. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's dive in. Let me just leave all the previous things, good and bad, at the door, as they say, and let's jump in and let's see what happens here with the first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. Let's go. Oh shit. Oh my god, that shot.
Get that to the Earth King. We're going to start a war.
Jesus, okay. Oh.
We aren't the real target.
Hmm.
My sights are set higher. It is our time.
Water.
Okay.
Earth. A peace made possible by the Avatar. Their spirit is reborn into a new body in an eternal cycle. Since the death of the last Avatar.
Okay, interesting so far. I'll give it that. Definitely invested.
Aang!
Oh no. I know what happens to him. Having too much fun.
You may be more advanced than the others.
Still need...
You have to learn.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's a lot of them. Oh boy. This sucks because we know exactly what happens to them in a bit.
Did you tell him?
Oh.
He needs to know who he is.
Exactly.
If we send him away before he learns these things, he could fail to be everything we need him to be. You have always been special. The most talented airbender I have ever known. You are the Avatar. The world needs the Avatar. The world
He's not ready for this, though.
needs you, Aang.
I don't want the power.
Which is why you will make a great Avatar. You will always be my friend.
Hey, Abba.
Appa! Yay!
Sleep either, huh? I know who I am. I like to play airball and eat banana cakes and goof off with my friends. I don't want the responsibility. I'm scared of my power. I'm scared of being alone.
Yep.
Brothers and sisters, we're under attack!
Oh shit! This is fucked up, man. I mean, it's showing how brutal this moment was. Jesus. I'm liking the bending. It's really cool. Oh, I'm liking the fighting. Okay, it's good. Yeah. Holy crap, that's awesome. That is so cool. All those kids, man, that's fucked.
Stay down.
Protecting them kids. Protecting them kids.
Two people at all times, meaning twice as many shifts.
Aw.
Is there a problem? Didn't think so. Okay, back to your duties. Katara!
Katara!
If anyone from the Fire Nation finds out you're a waterbender,
No one from the Fire Nation has approached the village in years.
I wonder who that is. It's working? Yeah?
Katara?
That's a cool shot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing?
You're not thinking of leaving him.
Katara, a strange glowy iceberg
Yeah?
has exploded and left behind a mysterious little bald person.
He looks dead. It's that mark on his
He looks
head.
dead.
This is an airbender.
It's impossible. Airbenders don't exist anymore.
The only settlement in that area is Water Tribe Village in the South Pole Territory. That's where we have to go.
Where you think we'll find the Avatar?
Yes.
I don't think your father would want you.
My father has banished me until I find the Avatar.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'll do. It'll all be worth it once I return home in glory to take my place as the rightful heir to the Fire Lord.
Those kids aren't questioning his clothes or anything. Like, who's this kid?
He could be the enemy.
The enemy?
The enemy.
I'm not the enemy. Appa! Where's Appa? Appa! He is an airbender.
Yes, of course he is.
Sky Bison.
Repeating it doesn't help.
Sky Bison.
Sky Bison.
Sky Bison.
Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Only the Avatar. Just as you don't know that airbenders haven't been seen in generations. The last time that the Great Comet was seen in the sky was 100 years ago. He is the last airbender.
And roll credits.
Are you okay?
No.
100 years. I didn't really understand the war until the night the Firebenders came. They destroyed everything in their path. Everything.
Say we find the Avatar and you're
Yeah.
able to defeat him.
You won't be
A
able
mission
to.
your father believed to be impossible.
You're a waterbender.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Barely.
she's trying.
I'm trying to get better, but I'm the only waterbender left in the village. They've killed all the others. Sokka just doesn't understand. By finding balance, you can feel the energy.
Oh, yep, they're here.
Why are they here? After all this time, what could they possibly want?
Him.
I knew he was hiding something. When the world needed the Avatar the most, he vanished.
Someone who is not one of you.
They have
Turn
rocks.
him over now, or I'll burn this place to the ground.
Hey, okay. What's he gonna do?
On behalf of the Water Tribe Village of Wolf Cove,
He shouldn't
I
be
demand
right
that you
there.
leave immediately.
Whoa. Exactly.
Let's go save that weird kid.
Let's go save the weird kid.
Can I ask you something?
Forgive me. I'm Iroh, son of Fire Lord Azula. Some people say it is within our nature to expand and consume, like fire itself.
Peace comes from respecting life, not killing and destroying.
A noble sentiment, Avatar. The Fire Nation can finally bring that about.
Is that what you believe?
Katara, no. There's no way you're getting me on that.
Okay, that's good.
The avatars.
Ooh, dodge. It's gonna hit him. Yep, and yep.
You know, the Firebenders aren't gonna give up.
Nope.
They're gonna keep coming after you.
He's gonna go in there. He found it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Always remember who you are.
Emotions getting the best of him.
What's happening?
He's calmed me down, I think.
You are my friend. You will always be my friend.
You also can't blame him for losing control there, you know?
They made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yep.
For me. I need to make sure their deaths weren't in vain. I'm the Avatar.
Yes, you are.
And this is just the beginning.
There you have it, guys. That was the first episode of Avatar Last Airbender, titled Aang, for Netflix, of course. And I want to say, pretty solid. Pretty solid. I actually had a good time with this first episode. I think they did a good job of establishing Aang and a little bit of Katara and Sokka and their dynamic, and then of course with Aang in the mix as well as the trio, but it's just a little bit, just kind of setting things up. I will say this though, I think the reason why I'm enjoying it as much as I did is because I know the original source material. I know the original show. I think that's why I'm enjoying it more. I'm curious to see somebody who's never watched Avatar, the original animated series, and watches this first, like they just jump into this show since it's new or whatever, and it's short, like, you know, well, not shorter episodes, but less episodes than the, I think it was like over like 40, like 50 or something episodes of Avatar, but I believe season 1 had 20 episodes, and this only has 8 for its first season. Now, I'm curious to see how they would respond to this. I think opening up with Aang and the air temple and everything, and then of course we see the fall of it due to the Fire Nation. I think all of that, I think, was smart in terms of having that being the introduction, because it takes a little bit for us to finally see a bit of the flashback to what happened and everything 100 years in the past with Aang and everything. Like, they open with that, and they really like hold you there because they show the attack. They show airbenders dying left and right. They don't show the kids though that are being protected at the end, but you know they're all dead. Okay, they really hammer it home how brutal this is. I think that was smart. Now, in terms of the brutalness, the tone, I was thinking about this too. I think what really works for the original animated series is the variety of tones that the show covered in terms of seriousness, goofy moments, and just lighthearted moments, and just in general they had a good balance, in my opinion. Balance in terms of like what the show deals with and everything, in terms of the bending and everything. It had a good balance of a variety of tones. This first episode is very serious, very, and I get it, because they're covering, especially in the opening first bit of this episode, especially, you know, building everything up in terms of Aang finding out he's the Avatar, him not wanting it and everything, the Fire Nation attacking the Air Nation, and all that stuff. Like, they're killing off airbenders left and right. Very serious. But I really didn't get a sense of any really other tone. There was a few small moments of some banter and some like thing, because Aang isn't like 100% serious, but he definitely is more serious here. That they're establishing. And the thing is too, I believe it was a showrunner or a producer or something said that they were trying to make it to where it was on the lines of like the original series, but also like, you know, getting like trying to bring in Game of Thrones fans who, when that show is very, very serious, comedic at times, but really serious. And I can definitely feel that, where it's really serious for the majority of this episode. Like I said, they're covering some heavy topics. I get it. And maybe we'll see more of a better balance later on within this first season. But for right now, like, it's like, okay, if you are okay with this show being serious, then I think this is going to work for you. So I'm going to hold judgment completely, but I will say that I noticed that there wasn't a lot of variety of tone. It was really like just focusing on the serious stuff, which, like I said, once again, I understand. The bending, the action was great. I think that's the highlight of this episode, is definitely the bending, because when you especially compare it to the M. Night Shyamalan Last Airbender fucking film, this is miles better. This is so much. This is basically what the animated show was doing. And I think at times the action is more fluid and faster here. But then again, it's because the animation back then, I mean, they had some really cool action. There's some great, amazing, beautiful action within the show. But I think they were like fast-paced action in this, and it was really working, especially seeing the Fire Nation using their fire bending and seeing the air bending and everything. And then when, you know, Aang is using his air bending, and then seeing Katara use a little bit of water bending as well, kind of teasing that, because we know she's not going to be really going crazy with it water bending until much later. But still, there was some great like bending in this, and really showing that it is quick paced. And I hope that people, because there has been some clips and stuff coming up online that have been looking kind of wonky, but like, I really hope people that are maybe gonna get at least give this episode a chance just to see, because the bending alone, the action was really, really good. I will say that. Iroh. So in the original animated series, they were implying early on that Iroh is not exactly a Fire Nation, you know, like loyalist per se, like he is, but at the same time, he has a very different path, and he has a very different mindset than the majority of the Fire Nation people in terms of being in this war and everything. And they're doing the same thing here, but they're even more so just laying it down to where he's like, he was always constantly questioning Zuko, and Zuko has to be this harsh and rude as he is right now, because that's exactly what happened in the animated series. That's who he is. He is in this mindset of like, my father banished me, da da da. It's still here, and we have Iroh going against it. And so Iroh having a small discussion with Aang, which I'm trying to remember if that actually happened in the original animated series, because it's been a number of years since I've seen it. But regardless, I think the small conversation between Aang and Iroh, I think was pretty good. Especially him asking, do you believe in this, to what you're talking about? He's like, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna send you some tea though, which they push him right ahead. Tea. We know he loves his tea. But I think that conversation was interesting, because we know later on Iroh is not a villain, which they kind of were implying that when you watch the original animated show. But here, I mean, he's obviously under Fire Nation, but he's not really a villain. Like, he's like saying, look, I get your point, Zuko, but you've been on this, you know, this journey and this quest forever, and nothing's coming up. Of course, now here's the Avatar, but still. I think also showing Kyoshi was interesting as well, and showing all the different avatars as well, I think was good. Now, something that's a little bit, because I did mention earlier about the tone and everything, and I think that, because I think they could have done more explaining in general to an audience that has no idea what this is about, because like I said, I think I'm enjoying this more because I already know the source material, I already know a lot of the stuff they're covering or whatever, but I think there's some stuff they could have expanded upon for sure to kind of make it more clear and understanding what's happening here, and maybe they will later on within this first season, but still, this first episode I think probably needs to do some more, but that's just me. But what I was going to get to is something, a little thing, is that there are some moments that the Aang actor, Katara, and Sokka, sometimes it's great. I think it's great dialogue back and forth between the two of them, or the three of them, or whatever match. But there's other times where some of the dialogue and delivery isn't the best. Like, it isn't like terrible all the way through or whatever. It's just some moments are good, and some moments are, that take could have been better, and that way that Katara said that line, and that way that Sokka said that line, it could have been different. And also, it's like, I'm kind of noticing too, I'm pretty much, for the most part, a little bit, maybe not so much, but for the most part, I'm liking this. I'm liking Aang. I'm liking this, the kid who's playing him. I think he's doing a pretty solid job. Sokka and Katara are taking a little more time for me to get used to them, because I'm so used to the original series. It's kind of hard to see live action version, especially after seeing the movie. But I think for the most part, I'm okay with this Aang. I'm okay with this version. I want to see some more goofiness. I definitely want to see more of that. But I like the portrayal that the kid's bringing and what the line delivery. Sometimes it's not the best, but he's trying, and he definitely is showing that there is more to Aang than just the seriousness that we're kind of seeing here for the most part. Sokka and Katara, I need more time. I need more time with them. Zuko, he's an ass. That's what he needs to be. So I think I'm fine with him overall as well. I'm trying to think anything else. I think, like I was mentioning the bending and everything, the fighting, I think the CGI and the actual locations and everything there's a lot of detail, and I like the detail that they're putting into the locations and these characters and their costumes and everything, because that's one thing that the freaking film just did a horrible job. Is like they had some decent CGI, like they had like, you know, locations and stuff and everything and CGI stuff and all that, but like a lot of the character outfits and it just didn't work. The detail wasn't really there. Like sometimes they tried, other times, yeesh. So I think here they're definitely doing a way better job of getting the details right and getting these locations, and they're really putting their money into this. That's the thing. They put a lot of money into this show. It is clear based on the CGI of Appa, which at times he's in the dark, but you can see him in full clear day and everything. And when Aang uses his abilities and the bending and everything, the effort and the time and the money did go into making this looking pretty solid. So round of applause for that. So overall, I think this first episode did a pretty solid start, a pretty good start. There are some issues, but I overall had a good time with this. I'm curious to see where we go from here. What's the next thing we're going to do? Because we are bypassing some stuff and some things are changing around in terms of, you know, time-wise when things start to happen. So I'm curious what episode 2 is going to bring and all that, because they really set up right away. Aang's like, you know, hey, I got to do this, this, and this. I got to master all these elements. And Sokka's like, oh, that's all? That's all you have to do is master all the elements and bring balance and everything? Okay. Also, it's funny that Katara, Sokka's grandmother, was literally giving the freaking, which I believe, like, in the animated show, that opening of, like, when the Avatar disappeared and everything, I think that was, like, the voice I think was Katara that was saying that. But we had that exact dialogue being used. Basically, it's the story that everyone's heard, and Aang's hearing this. Like, well, the reason why you haven't heard this is because it's about you. Because you're the one who disappeared. So overall, yeah. So had a good time with it. I'm curious to see what happens next, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.